Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has been hit by yet another legal action. This time, a U.S. judge temporarily blocked it from accessing records from the Treasury Department. U.S. District Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer issued the injunction after 19 Democratic states sued President Donald Trump for letting Elon Musk's staff access government payment systems in violation of federal laws. The Treasury records relate to sensitive personal data of millions of Americans, including their Social Security and bank account numbers. Incidentally, DOGE is not a government department, which is why its creation is drawing drone lawsuits from government unions, watchdogs, and public interest groups. Also, Musk does not draw a government salary, and there is no clarity either on who are the employees of DOGE and how they're being paid. Musk's team gained access to the U.S. Treasury Department's payment systems on Friday. The system sends out more than $6 trillion a year in federal payments. Musk's rapid takeover of U.S. government agencies has enabled the South African-born billionaire to create a new center of power in Washington. But so far, U.S. President Trump has resolutely endorsed Trump and his actions, claiming that he is doing a great job by reacting to a question on a provocative cover put out by Time magazine.
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that. Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. You see it with the USAID, but you're going to see it even more so with other agencies and other parts of government. He's got a staff that's fantastic.
Adele Nazarian is a senior media fellow, Gold Institute for International Strategy. She's now joining us live from D.C. Miss Adele, good to see you. Do you actually think Elon Musk and the president are violating federal laws by accessing sensitive information or records? And if they are, what actions should be meted on them?
That's a really tough one. I have to say, this is unprecedented, right? This is unprecedented access for Musk and his team, of course. And so they do have access to handling trillions of dollars in federal disbursements, including Social Security and Medicare payments. And of course, this level of access by a private individual, literally in every sense, is unparalleled. Is there potential for interference? Of course, there's fears that such access could allow for, the unilateral restriction or manipulation of funds that are appropriated by Congress, posing a threat potentially to the constitutional balance of power. Legal ethical concerns, of course, are raised by the Democrats mostly as to what this is, allegations of violations of federal laws. Honestly, I don't think Elon and his team are going to do anything to violate this. I think what we're dealing with here is unprecedented situation. Mm-hmm. And as such, we can't really look at history to be the guide of this. I think that there's going to have to be, of course, if there is a violation, if anyone's private information is going to be leaked or mishandled, the sensitive information, there will be prosecutions and there will be, legal action taken to handle it. I just want to throw back to an example where it's not exactly the situation here, but when Henry Hank Paulson, who was Treasury Secretary from 2006 to 2009, he was previously the CEO of Goldman Sachs. In 2008, he had a very controversial meeting with a group of hedge fund managers and Wall Street executives, where he discussed the possibility of placing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac into conservatorship. Sorry about that. A move that would basically significantly impact the markets. Mm-hmm. And at the time, he downplayed such a possibility, but he had the ability to impact that with his position. Mm-hmm. Similarly, does Musk have the ability to actually block funds coming out of Congress if he feels that they're being misappropriated, or if it's just money that's being, essentially laundered or wasted? Potentially he could. Do I think that Musk would put himself in such a position to actually not go through the correct legal channels and place himself in harm's way and basically the people? I don't think he would. But I think this is something that we have to look at very closely and to go by the Constitution and to see what specifically
Talking about the Constitution, Ms. Adele, talking about the Constitution and talking about law and talking about the right thing that is happening in the United States, there are some critics worldwide who don't agree with certain orders or privileges, if you like, that have been given to individuals like Elon Musk. Some are branding them unconventional. Do you think Trump's move and decisions could have repercussions in the short term, not in the long term, in the short term?
I do. I think that it could have short-term consequences if there are, I'm sorry to say, mistakes. I think that, there's definitely long-term, of course, we're going to talk about it later, another time, I'm sure. But look, Musk's access to Treasury systems, it's been challenged on the grounds that it may infringe upon the separation of, powers through allowing the executive branch through DOGE to potentially interfere with funds appropriated by Congress. I think that's the biggest issue. And I think that in the short term, it's going to cause a lot of headaches, and it's going to cause investigations. It's going to cause a media frenzy where they're going to go ahead and try to obviously disparage further and bash Musk and to attack Trump and anyone who is part of the DOGE team. So I think the short-term ramifications are that there's going to be a ton of scrutiny, and every single thing is going to be literally cherry-picked, and there will not be one I that is not dotted and one T that is not crossed when it comes to seeing what actions are being taken.
Ms. Adele Nazarian, it's good to see you, good to talk to you today. Thank you very much for your insights today.
Thank you, Eric.